Welcome back to another episode of How Did They Grow? I created this podcast because I wanted you to learn how other coaches, freelancers, service providers, and course sellers are growing their business, landing 10 to 20 new clients every single month, paying them 50, 100, 200K months. See, if they've done it, you can too. And that's just the reality. And I want you to listen to these podcasts to understand what strategies are they using, what techniques are they exploring, because it's in these gems that you can apply it to your business and actually scale things up. When you're ready and you feel like you actually want to learn practical, proven methodologies, or even you want to hire a team that can build you a profitable personal brand, book in a chat with our team because we can guarantee you go viral and guarantee you get clients for your business.
Welcome to the show, guys. This is the How Did They Grow podcast, and today we have on Gabriel Mays. Gabriel, tell us a little bit about yourself.
What's going on, man? So, like you said, my name is Gabriel. I'm the co-founder of a company called Maisie. The other co-founder is my better half. It's my wife, Debbie. So her and I found the business together back in 2016. And yeah, man, so now we run it out here in California, living the dream.
Amazing, amazing. Tell us how all that started.
Well, it's actually a wild ride. So we sell websites. That's our core company. And the very first website that I ever sold was a municipality. It was a city website, if you will. And I found myself just in a conversation with a mayor of a small town in Oklahoma. And he said that they were looking and they sent out what's called an RFP, or request for proposal. And I was like, TJ, first off, what is that? And what are people bidding on websites? And he said, man, the cheapest bid we've gotten so far was for $25,000 for one website. And I thought, wow, TJ, I've never built a website before, but I'm sure I could build one for cheaper than that. And he submitted a challenge. He was like, well, submit a bid. So I went home that afternoon. I submitted a little proposal and I won the bid for the city website. From there, my wife and I, we just started getting city websites. And then simultaneously, my wife and I, we were living on a school bus at the time. We started growing our social media channel. So we had a family Instagram account that started to blow up because of our lifestyle, and we started merging those two worlds together. So that's kind of how we kickstarted the business.
Amazing, amazing. So where are you now? What do you do now? You still build websites?
We do, yeah. So we, over time we've niched down. So now we build church websites, and we're located in California. But yeah, we've really honed in and we've gotten away from doing all of these different types of sites, and now we just do church websites and like Christian type organizations.
Amazing. I think that's I think that's amazing. So what about in terms of your offers? You're a coach, you coach people on how to do it as well?
Well, we started off like that, yes. So obviously to gain interest and to help people discover the problem, we would have to offer our coaching services. So we started teaching what's called the Instagram Masterclass, teaching people how to grow their social media. And there was three parts of that class: how to grow, how to engage, and then how to get paid, right? And so throughout that process, obviously we're creating the problem. Hey, you don't have a website. Social media is super important, but as you drive people to an offer, it needs to be on a landing page that's going to convert. So throughout that discovery process for them, eventually we would end up pitching a website. And that was kind of our funnel, if you will, that we got people into our service. Yep.
I think that's amazing. And you said you don't do that anymore.
We don't now, because what's happened now is, we've built 400, 500 websites. And now at the bottom of all of the sites that we build is a link to our lead form. And so now we're getting so many leads in because our work is out there on display. So people scroll down, inevitably they'll go to a site that they love. And oftentimes people are like, this is a beautiful website. And they'll scroll to the bottom to see who did it. They'll find us. They'll fill out that lead form, and then that's how we're getting all of our leads. So our social channel right now is strictly for entertainment, education, and then sometimes we'll kind of throw in some other bits and pieces, but it's mostly those two items.
Because we have a lot of coaches in our audience as well, because and they're young coaches. And when I say young, I don't mean age-wise. I mean in the industry of this online coaching thing. So they're kind of in a dilemma in terms of starting social media. Should I start it? What should I do? Or should I just focus on delivery?
Got it. So social media today is it's a no-brainer, obviously, but it's one of those things that you have to have for credibility. For me, in my world, credibility really is everything. So whenever you do start your social media channel, though, what we teach as well, I'm sure that you guys teach something similar, is you need to be delivering value. So whether or not you're entertaining people or educating people, it's just free, organic content that you're just lending out. But it is that credibility builder that people need to see. In order for you to sell coaching, they need to find out the successes that you've had. And if you have success, they'll want to tap into that success. And there's no better place to display the successes that you have outside of social, whether it's Instagram, TikTok, Facebook, podcasting, like what you guys are doing. It's mandatory.
Yeah. You think it's gotten to that point? Let me say 10 years ago, it's like, it was websites. Websites is like, if you don't have a website, just close down your business, man.
Yeah, that's a great question.
You think social media is not?
Yeah, I think it is. I think, if I was thinking about a stair step, social media is that very first impression that people are going to get, especially if you're a coach, right? If you have that personal brand. The next step would be your offer, and your offer is going to end on a website, a landing page, a store, something like that. But to even get people interested in that piece, you need to have a good social presence. 100%. Yep.
Yeah, amazing. So you were, let me just ask you this: with the way social media is kind of trending, what would you say about how has that affected your work in terms of websites? Would you say websites are dying, or would you say it's even more necessary to have a website?
That's a great question. So the way that I got on this call today was through a website. I think that websites are still a vital part. Like, here's an example. And really, if websites are used correctly, back in the day, we would think, oh, I have a website. I have a home page. I have an about page. I have a blog page. That's like old school mentality thinking whenever it comes to a website. New school mentality, a website is a place where conversions happen. So every page on your website should lead to somebody doing something. It's part of the customer journey, if you will. So websites done correctly is like the layer deeper. People will go to social, they'll discover a brand, they'll discover a coach, they'll discover a product, but the transactions, the deeper level relationship takes place on a landing page, which is a website. So that's where my company comes in, is we are that next layer deep. So on a church website, you can find a church online, but ultimately you're going to want to go and visit, and you're going to want to donate. So those two pages become incredibly important for conversions to happen for new visitors, and then for people also wanting to donate to the church. So websites, bro, they're still very much alive, very much.
Definitely. Another question on the same lining is, how much should someone be paying for websites? What do you think about all these free website builders and, what they call them, Card or Wix and all that, WordPress? How much 100%. Do you think a good website is worth? Or do you think that, just answer the question any way you want to.
Great question. So it depends on what the person's needs are. So we have 3 tiers, bro, the way that I look at it. So Maisie, the company I own, Maisie, we're a website builder just like Squarespace. You can go, and for $29 a month, you can go and DIY your website and build it yourself. Go for it. But then there are those people that are not technical. And by the way, with that $29 a month, you can use AI. You can get help with ChatGPT and write copy. We can design for you. You just drop in your colors and AI will do it for you. That's $29 a month. And there's lots of people out there who want that. But the second tier of people are those people who just set it up for me and then let me take it from there. Like, we'll get a template, so we'll do their colors and their fonts and get it looking like them and then hand it over. That's like a done with you. But then you have those organizations that are larger. They have those 10, 15, 20, 50 page websites where they're providing a service to a lot of people. That's more of a custom approach. So Maisie offers all 3 of those. So for us, it's $37 a month for that low one. But then we're like at the $3,000 to $5,000 range for that middle. And we are still legitimately selling websites right now for like $15,000 and $20,000.
Amazing. And the lead flow is constant as well.
Lead flow is constant, nonstop. Yep.
Amazing. Even though you shrunk to a niche, to one niche, it's still, the lead flow is still coming.
We can't keep up. We can't keep up with it right now.
It's crazy.
Nope, we cannot keep up with it. So we got a national contract with a really large church organization. And as part of our contract, we just provide service to them and all of their churches within their organization. And within the church world, they're usually a decade behind in technology. So our job,
That particular church.
yeah, bro. Our job is to come alongside these churches and say, hey, you're not even online. You need to get in the game. Because for us, people are searching for churches all the time. Church near me is searched all the time on Google. And so it's like, hey, you just need to get in the game. But that's one tier. And then we'll help large church organizations as well, like multi-site stuff.
I hope you're enjoying this podcast. I hope you're taking notes. I hope you're learning so much practical wisdom, because that's what I really wanted from this podcast. Now, I just want to quickly say, if you're looking for a team that can actually help you explode and go viral with your personal brand with proven methodologies, I say this because I've been doing this for the past 5 years. We've got a team of 30 people who are ready to go ahead and explode your brand so you can get clients begging to work with you. Have a chat with one of our advisors. You can book in a chat using one of the links around this video, because that chat might just change your life.
So the only way you're getting offers now is referrals. Social media is not it right now for you, and marketing. And what would you say to people who are?
So basically the question was, what would I say? Is my leads just referrals now and social is not important? So Mike, this is critical here, bro. Social is still just as important as my referrals that I'm getting through leads. And here's why. Marketing is, you need to think of marketing as like a full course meal, right? It's the steak, it's the potatoes, it's the dessert, it's everything. So you've got your website, your social media presence, your email list, your funnels. It's kind of a machine that works for you. So yes, we have our leads coming in through referrals. What that means though, is I'm not having to do paid ads. What it doesn't mean is that I'm not still present on social to have that credibility piece. So we're still on social media, but I'm not asking for business from social. It's basically, I'm just present so that in the event that people need credibility from who Maisie is or who Debbie and Gabriel are, they can still find us present on social. It's still critical.
Makes a lot of sense, because that trust is important as well.
Super. Big time. Yep.
Okay.
People want to do business with other people. So especially in the coaching world, I mean, all this AI stuff coming out is great, but at the end of the day, people want people, right?
Definitely. No one wants to talk to, a many chat bot or something like that.
And it's always been like that. I mean, in the customer service world, they tried to automate like phone support. That's not new. That's old. Like, thank you for calling Walmart. Press 1 for, it's always like you're skipping past that as quickly as you can to talk to a real person. At the end of the day, we just want to speak to another human. So I think that's one of the important parts in social is, hey, who are you as a human? Are you authentic? Are you authentic? Are you real? Can you actually do what you said you were going to do? Those things people discover on social.
Amazing. So what is kind of the journey for you now? Where do you want to get to?
So as far as Maisie's journey, we do have our own internal goals, right? And our goals are pretty specific. Yeah, we use what's called EOS, so we're pretty specific.
Okay.
Our mission though, Mike, this may sound a little spiritual, I'll get spiritual on you, but our mission is to saturate to saturate the internet with the presence of God. Man, that's why we exist. And so the way that we do that is partnering with churches and nonprofits and Christian organizations to get their stuff online. At the end of the day, money-wise, we would love to become a $20 million company. That's kind of next step. We've had some really big financial goals that we've hit, and it's been fun to hit those goals, but we're not done. We're not even close to being done yet. Is that what you're looking for?
Amazing. That's exactly what I'm looking for. So what do you think is going to get you there? What do you think is going to get you to those numbers?
The right team. So now it's coming down to team. Our processes are in place. Our products are dialed. Delivery is there. Now it's just going to be a matter of our team, which we're recruiting, and we're also dialing in our current team members as well. The past couple of years for Maisie has been prepping for scale, and we're just about there. But it's just a matter of fulfilling all the work that we can get, bro, at this point.
Okay, you said that in the beginning. It's like you can't handle the work. So when you're saying team, you mean team in terms of fulfillment?
Exactly right. Yep. 100%.
Okay, that's amazing. In the future, are you still looking? Okay, you did say that your goal is to saturate the internet with Christian
Yeah. With the
Christian
presence.
organizations. Yeah,
Yep.
yeah, exactly. The presence of God. You said that, yes.
Mhm.
So that's the long-term goal, and you are still sticking to that niche, right?
Oh yeah. We won't, I think honestly, that's the death of businesses is whenever they leave their niche. I would rather
Hmm.
do one thing and do one thing well.
Be
And
known
from
for it.
there, maybe have some byproducts. But at the most point, we've gotten so focused on who our avatar is, who we're serving, and focusing on that person because there are millions and millions and millions of them. So we're just, yes, so we have niched down to churches and that's our only direction. We're not going to go outside of that niche.
Amazing, amazing, amazing. Let me kind of ask you a reverse question. So you told
Sure.
me what's going to get you there, which is getting that team. What's going to hold you back then in terms of reaching those numbers and being recognized as that? Yeah.
Yep. So our biggest hurdle right now is what we refer to as time to market. It's whenever I get a new enterprise type, like 10, 15, 20 page website in the door, whenever those guys sign the contract,
Okay.
getting their stuff designed, written, built, and launched, shortening up that time frame. So time to market, we have to dial that piece down. That's what's going to slow our process if we don't figure that piece out.
Can I? Is it? Can that mean the same thing as time to launch? I'm trying to understand what you meant.
Yeah. Yep. Same thing. Same thing.
Okay. Okay. Makes sense. Makes sense. So that's what's. So it all goes back to getting that team in place, right?
Yes. Yep. Lots of team training, lots of team development. Operations is a big deal. And then just making sure that our processes are built to scale.
Amazing. 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 I think you've this is not your first rodeo. You've been in the industry for years. What can you say to, because you've been in the coaching world as well. Tell us a little bit about your coaching career and what did
Yeah.
you do to scale that, for the sake of our audience? Because
Yeah.
they really want in on that sauce. How were you able to figure out a funnel that works for you and was able to convert, let's just say, followers into cash, basically?
Totally. So I use the value ladder. I'm sure you're familiar with the value ladder, but we start with social. We offer
Okay.
something for free. We deliver high value, high credibility. After we've done that, we ask for something small. Then we ask for something medium. Then we ask for something large. So specifically for us, my wife and I, we taught something called the Instagram Masterclass. And we
Okay.
broke it up into 3 parts: how to grow your account, how to increase your engagement, and how to get paid. So those were 3 $49 classes. And then we had the ultimate, the Instagram Masterclass, and that was $497. So first it started with my wife and I. Hey, come and join us on the journey as we grow our Instagram account and as we grow our engagement and as we get paid. People would follow that journey. We would display success. Hey, if you want to experience what we're experiencing, we've given you a free download. You can download this freebie right now. They download the freebie. We deliver high quality content, give that person a win so they accomplish something. And then that's whenever we step into our asks. My wife and I, we went to a Russell Brunson conference. So we were 2 Comma Club award winners in ClickFunnels. I made my first $1 million back in 2017 as a 2 Comma Club award. And I literally just followed that process, bro. Literally. That was
the value ladder.
The value ladder, 100%.
Okay, let me ask you to do something real quick, kind of an experiment. Let's say I'm gonna pick kind of a persona, kind of an ICP of someone in the audience, kind of a profile. I am a spiritual coach, right? I'm a spiritual coach, regardless of the faith. I want to help people achieve their business and life goals using spirituality. Does that make sense?
Yep.
If you were my coach in terms of my business coach, how am I going to use that value ladder in my example? So just give kind of a, break that down for us. Yeah.
Yep. The first thing that I would have you do is, or I would ask you, what's the biggest problem that you're solving? And if you don't know what the biggest problem is that you're solving, then I would say poll your audience. And what I mean by the biggest problem is, like your example, I'm a spiritual coach and I want to help people succeed in their personal and business life. To me, that's too broad. That's too broad spectrum. I would say, okay, Do you want to focus on helping them succeed in their business life or in their personal life? Pick one of those two. Okay, so now you're a spiritual coach who wants to help people succeed in their business. Perfect. Let's talk about business. How big of a business? Are you wanting to help people that have small, medium size businesses or large size businesses? Small to medium, perfect. Now, what business niche? What are you really good at? Okay, so you're really good at finance. Perfect. So you're a spiritual coach who helps financial businesses that are making $10 million or less. Excellent. Now we've niched down. And then I would say, what's the number one problem that you're solving for those people? Let's find that out. Now, once we know what that number one problem is, we're going to create our free piece of content from that.
Amazing, amazing. So basically, kind of reciprocity. Reciprocity is the key.
Reciprocity is definitely critical. For us, we were helping people who wanted to travel, that had a family, teaching them how to make money online. That's how we niche down. So families, married with children, they enjoyed travel. They wanted to learn how to travel. And the problem that we were solving was making money online. That's how we niche down. So all of our marketing was, hey, come check us out. We're a family of 6. We live on a school bus. We love to travel and we make money online. We niche down and then solve that problem. Or I could have just gone, I want to teach everybody how to grow social. I want to teach everybody how to make money. It doesn't work. Whenever you find out who your avatar is, bro, now you're rocking.
Makes a lot of sense. Because then you're not just, I think the bigger you get, the broader you can afford to be. Does that make sense?
Sure. 100%.
Someone like, Hormozi, right? Russell Brunson and all these guys, because they've got them big, they can afford to be broad. But when you're starting off, you have to pick, really drill down on that ICP, right?
Yeah, totally. Well, you think about those guys, they are still niched down to, you think about Grant Cardone. He's still niching down. He's still in the real estate world. It's still real estate. Although him and Russell Brunson are kind of still doing the same thing, Russell is still teaching marketers how to do marketing. They're still niched. But yeah, I do see your point.
Definitely. I think that's amazing. And I'm curious, how did you get a lot of this insight into sales and marketing? Did you just go down that rabbit hole when you started the business, or was it something you were passionate about as a kid?
So I did door-to-door commission-only sales for 3 years. So I learned how to have a conversation, intro, short story, presentation, close, rehash. I learned how to have a conversation. I learned how to take somebody from immediately saying no to lowering their anxiety and getting them to say yes. And then you just take the skill set of sales and you transition that onto line. And yeah, that's where I got passionate about it. I really enjoy taking people from a built up wall where they're saying no to softening and breaking them down to where eventually they're going to say yes. That's a really fun process for me.
It really is fun. It really is fun. As a student of sales myself, let's kind of do a little role play, man. What are we going to do?
Yeah. I don't know. What do you want? You want to sell something? You want to sell you a website?
Okay. Sell me a website. I'm a social media coach. I help people go viral on social media. Sell me a website.
Yeah, totally. So I start off with always asking questions. If I'm going to be able to create the problem, then I can solve the problem. So my first question would be, hey, Mike, do you have a website right now?
I just have a Linktree, man. Just put all my links there.
You just have a Linktree? Great. Why did you choose Linktree? Just out of curiosity.
It was easy, and it's a lot of people use it as well. A lot of people that I look up to use it as well. So I think it's good. Perfect.
Okay. So you use a Linktree. What's like your number one link that people click on whenever they go to your Linktree?
Okay. Then I have what's it called? I have a digital product page on Shopify where I put on Gumroad, where I put my little products on and people can go buy for now. Yeah.
Perfect. Okay. Got it. So is that the only link that you have?
No, I got tons of links. I got my Instagram on there, my TikTok, my YouTube. I got my little podcast on there as well.
Great. Okay. So as a coach, on Linktree, are you able to see how many people are clicking on each one of those links and which one's the most valuable for you?
Yeah, they do have those analytics.
Right. So then whenever they click on those links, the next phase is either your landing page for your Gumtree or whatever you just called it.
It's like site where you can put up digital products. Yeah.
Exactly right. So, and then I would start going down the rabbit hole of each one of those pages. And I would pull up your analytics and say, okay, well, perfect. Well, hey, this one page right here is not converting according to the numbers that you've been telling me. So literally in the first like 3 minutes to 10 minutes, all I'm doing is pulling up your pages on my screen and showing you the broken links. That's what I'm doing. And then what I'm doing is I'm saying, okay, so would you agree then after all of these different visits that your client journey is broken? It looks like they have to go to like 3 or 4 different places. You're not really to get a full vision on the journey that your customer is taking. Would you agree with that? Is that fair?
I mean, yeah, because like one, they have to go to Gumroad to get my products. They have to go to another link to get a consultation with me. I mean,
Right.
but it's working, but it's working.
Yeah. So what if I could tell you that we could put all of that in one place so it's easier both on your customer and their journey and on you for all of those analytics that would increase your conversions by 40%. If I could show you that, would you be interested in switching over to Mazy? Would that be fair?
I mean, 40% is crazy. You got to show me that that's able to work.
Great. So what I hear you saying then is if I can show you that it would work, that it would be crazy and you would be interested in switching. Is that right?
I mean, definitely a 40% increase on what I'm already doing is not a joke. So I think, yeah, why not?
And so
If
then
the
I would
cost
pull
is
up
right, why not?
boom.
Huh?
And so now what I do is I pull up my screen, I go through my presentation, I show you how I do that. I show you how I've done it for others. And then I go back and say, Mike, you already said that if I could show you this worked, that you would be in. So now we're looking at a $5,000 buy-in. It's $2,500 up front and then a payment plan after that. Do you want to get started next Tuesday or next Wednesday?
I got to go talk to the wife.
You got to go and talk to your wife? Listen, I totally understand that. So in instances like this, what I like to do is I want to go ahead and set up our next meeting and I would love to invite your wife. So let's go ahead and connect next Tuesday or next Wednesday. Which one of those days work better for you to connect?
I think Tuesday is good. Tuesday is good.
So what I did there in a couple of ways is it's called the QVC theory, right? So sense of urgency, fear of loss, Jones effect, and then indifference. So the indifference piece is lovely. Go talk to your wife, but I'm never leaving it inside of your control. It's always in mine. Go talk to your wife, but let's meet next Monday or Tuesday. Which one's better for you? And then invite the wife, right? The moment that this is me and my sales journey. I don't do a hard sell. I'm not like, okay, so Mike, are you not the decision maker? Why would you need to go talk to your wife? I thought you said that you were the one that can make the decision. Sometimes people will press that hard. I don't do that. I don't. My value system is from a place of honor. And so I'm like, oh man, I can understand the value in going to talk to your wife. After you talk to her, I already know she's going to be in as long as you communicated clearly what I communicated to you today. But let's be sure and meet next week just in case. So next Tuesday or Wednesday work for you. And in the meantime, I'm going to send you some information that you can be sure and send your wife. Now, bro, in between those two things, as soon as we hang up the phone, I'm doing a Loom video. I'm recording exactly what I just showed you. And I'm emailing you that recording and the proposal. And I'm saying, Mike, it was such a pleasure. Please show this to your wife. And I look forward to seeing you next Tuesday at 3 p.m.
Amazing. So you don't do all the hard objection handling stuff.
I have a rule of 3. If, I get you into the closing triangle and you have an objection and I overcome that objection, I'm going back to the close. If you give me another objection, I'm going to overcome that objection back to the close. If you give me another objection, third, I'm going to overcome it and then I'm going to divert to something else because I operate off of an honor, if you will. It's just what I call and what I teach my reps. We're never going to do a hard press close. I'm not so desperate in need of your business where I'm going to convince you to say yes. No, I want you to say yes. So that's just the way that we operate, though. It's a little different. Is that helpful? What do you think?
Yeah, it was helpful. A little bit of different, and I like the way you handled it in terms of you maintain frame a lot because frame is really important on these things.
Yep.
Maintaining frame, showing that, hey, I'm the expert here. I know what we can do for you. I know, and confidence as well in your system, and that comes with knowing your system.
That's right.
So confidence in what you can do, and you can get me that 40% increase as well. And I know the audience is loving this right now, and kind of giving them a little nuggets here and there. And I think that's amazing.
Well, and I'll give you one more little nugget. So it's something I teach called the bullet theory whenever it comes to sales, Mike. So your biggest thing just then was conversions, 40%. That's a big deal to you. Some people, that may not be the biggest deal to them. So in sales, here's where I think a lot of sales reps go wrong. I call it the bullet theory. So Rambo, you know the character Rambo?
Yeah.
So his favorite weapon, what was it? It was the machine gun, right? So the way that he would kill his enemies is with a machine gun, like that, right? In the sales world, we'll use the machine gun method. We'll say, Maisie, we can do this and this and that and this and this and this and this. And I'm just going to bog you down with a bunch of things that we can do. But it may not be what you're interested in. Instead, we take the James Bond approach. James Bond's favorite weapon was the pistol. He would shoot one bullet, blow something up, and kill the whole group of people. We want to take the same approach. I want to discover, what is your number one pain point? What is the number one thing that you're having an issue with? And if I can solve that problem with this solution, then I'm going to have your business. I don't need to tell you about all of the things that Maisie can do. I just need to find out that one thing that you need Maisie to do, and then you'll do business with me. That's how I work in sales. That's why that very first part, whoever asks the most questions controls the conversation. So if I'm asking questions, I'm controlling the conversation and I'm discovering the problem so I can solve it. Is that helpful? I don't know. I'm just talking now.
That's really helpful. And one thing again is, like, once you solve that one big problem, the rest of the things you can solve come as an extra bonus. Yeah. And that also helps in fulfillment and how the client feels after. Because, like, they did this thing for me, which was my biggest thing, and they did all these extra stuff for me as well. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, exactly.
That's an amazing way to look at it. Just the James Bond method, you called it, right?
Yeah, bullet theory.
Bullet theory. Love it. We got some extra time. Let me ask you a little bit more sales questions.
Sure.
How do you get to that point where you find out what gun to use?
Bullet? Yep. So the power of questions. So there's a flow that I use called How to Have a Conversation, and it's intro, short story, presentation, close. And so what I'll do is, in my intro, I'm using my C factors: smile, eye contact, enthusiasm. But then I get to the next piece, my short story. And my short story is, I'm asking questions. Hey, Mike, man, so tell me about your website. Oh, you use Linktree. Wow. Why do you use Linktree? Okay, perfect. Okay. And all I'm doing is asking questions. And in the questioning, I'm discovering problems. I'm finding out what you like about Linktree, what you don't like about Linktree. I'm finding out where the errors are in your customer journey and where it's going right. And as that's happening, I'm taking notes. He has 4 different website services on his Linktree. That's not fun for anyone. He points people to a Shopify page, probably doesn't have a full page dedicated to one product. It's probably lots of products on one page. That's a problem. And I'm creating those problems. And then right before I go to my presentation, Mike, if I could show you that I could increase your conversions by 40%, would you be interested in switching to Maisie? Because now I've identified it. And I already had a yes from you before I even went into my presentation. But it may be, Mike, if I could show you how to save 3 hours a day on your website building time with Maisie, would you be willing to switch? You could save me 3 hours, because maybe time is what's most important to you. So it's the importance is in the questioning that you ask ahead of time.
So that last line, that transitionary question into the presentation, that is the bullet.
100%, bro. That's what I call the silver bullet. So that's the kill shot. At the very end, that's right. At the very end, it's always going to come down to one of two things. Inevitably, every single time, it's always going to come down to these one of two things: either price or product. Is my price too high? Or did I not do a good job telling you about my product? So if they're wavering, I'm like I will say, Mike, I got to go talk to my wife. Totally understand. What do you think she's going to have the biggest hurdle with, Mike? Is she going to be more concerned about the price, or is she going to be more concerned about the product and the service that we're offering? Which one do you think she's going to be concerned with? The reason why I asked that question is because you're going to tell me not what she's going to think, but you're actually going to tell me what you're thinking, right?
Yeah.
You're going to say, I don't know. I think she's really going to be worried about the price. Okay, perfect. Well, what part of the price is she going to be worried about? Now, what I've done is I've really just discovered yours, right? So that's it always comes down to one of those two things at the end, price or product.
That's amazing. That's amazing. Would you say the product part is similar to fear? Because what I've heard is like it's usually price and fear. So fear that the pricing is not a problem. They have the money. Then they're scared that what if this doesn't work out? I think that still ties back to the product in a way.
Yeah, it does. The way that you get over that fear piece is with social media. It's with credibility. To lower people's fear, the way that you do that is to say, now I've done this exact same thing, Mike, for people like Mike Santiago, Mike McCrary, blah, blah, this person. I've done it for all of these people, and I'm gonna do the same thing for you. And here's the price. It immediately alleviates fear. You know, well, I mean, one of the biggest things that you can do is share your reviews, right? Show the work that you've already done. And if you can do that appropriately, people aren't scared anymore. Oh, you did it for them? Okay. And then it's almost to the place where like, but do it for me. Now, how do I get you to do this for me? And sometimes I'll use that and I'll say, I don't know if I can get you in this month. Like it's probably going to have to wait till next month. Well, can it be like, can we rush it? Let me just see. Yeah, we can probably rush it for you. You know, it's creating that desire. They should be wanting to do business with me by the time I get to my close.
Yeah. Makes a lot of sense. There's a lot of things into sales, and I think sales is an art. You know, it's not a fight; it's a dance.
That's right,
you know?
Dude. I've got just like 60 more seconds. I got to go pick up my kids from school. So, what else you got? Is there anything else?
I want to give you a quick shout out, but let me just ask you one quick thing. What is something you wish I asked you on this podcast?
Yeah. So I wish that you would have asked me, how did I come up with the name Maisie?
You did put that on the form. I got caught up in the sales thing. How did you come up with that?
So my wife and I were in the valley of decision. Are we going to do Maisie or not? So I write Maisie out on a napkin, Maisey. I write it out. And I'm just praying. I'm like talking with my wife and we're praying. And out loud, I say, God, are you even in Maisie? Is this something that you want us to do? Are you in it? And in that moment, it was brought to my wife's attention that Maisie backwards is yes, I am. And so it was as if the Lord was saying, yes, I am in Maisie. And so we ran with it from there. But my wife and I, we have 4 kids. We were going to have a 5th. We were going to name her Maisie if it was a girl. We decided to not have a 5th kid. Instead, we started a business, which basically is a kid.
Is the baby. Amazing.
Yep. So we named it Maisie.
Amazing. I think that's an amazing story, and I definitely should have asked that. Where can the people go to find out a little more about your work, man?
Yeah, so they can go to Maisey.co, Maisey.co, Maisey.co. And then my wife and I, you can find us on social. We are The Maze Team. So I'm just going to spell it out. TheMayeSTEAM, The Maze Team. And you can just go check us out on social there, and we're around.
Amazing. Hopefully we can have you on some other time, Gabriel.
That'd be great. Mike, man, it was an honor to meet you.
I really hope you enjoyed this podcast. I want you to go away and execute everything there is that you've learned. Now, one thing I will say is if you're in a position where you're ready to actually take things to another level, you want structured, clear guidance, you want a team that can actually help accelerate you, book in a chat with our advisors. Why? We can blow up your personal brand to attract clients begging to work with you. All you got to do is book in a chat with our advisors and we can help make it happen. Sound fair enough?